to deliver quite the grand final as we get underway.
Oh, absolutely. For all the points you made and from the guys on the desk, this is going to be a fantastic match to watch to end up our Regional 2. But hey, how about you start off with a pinch goal for Justin in the first 6 seconds and NRG on the board?
We like to start things off maybe a bit uncharacteristic. Atomic, he just couldn't get to, I guess he wanted to just catch the ball and then make the challenge happen, but Justin was all on top of him and it pinched off the top of his car. Well, what a way to start.
Jordan, we try and play up these, the storylines, the plays that you could expect. That's a bit more like it from Justin. 2 goals now for his name. We're only 12 seconds in.
Watching NRG play against the Peeps, one thing just kept ringing through my mind, and I was like, they must be mad after that series against XSET in the quarterfinals, where they almost gave it away and lost, and their run ended there. But after that, like, they're still mad. They're just gonna keep scoring. This is ridiculous. Oh, Justin almost found it from the same exact spot. EnVy finally get a chance, and well, I guess, game ones, they even happen like this in the grand finals. Mist picks up the goal.
Great pickup here from Mist as well. Able to just take his space. He saw the gap that was left from NRG. Squishy kind of caught in no man's land there. You could see he couldn't get back to the ball. He had another player from EnVy on his left side there that could have forced the demo as well. So there was a lot to think about there for Squishy. And Mist, he's been happy just to pop it up and over his head.
An interesting start to the game. Turbo setting up Mist, and it goes through. Surprised NRG couldn't get back to this ball, but Turbo with the assist.
Yeah, Turbo gets a second touch, and Mist just waiting there. And I'll say it.
No one can see. Yeah, go ahead, Corelli.
Justin just typed in chat. Beautiful start, everyone.
We're good now. We can restart. Like those 4 goals never happened.
I was trying to make the point. We play these guys up about how good they play, and of course, I think the history is a testament to that with the grid and past regionals. But boy, oh boy, what a start here in the first minute.
Not the way you might expect things to start, or if you have a more keen eye than your average bear, then maybe you saw the chaos of game 1 unfolding. And with Turbo on the field, you really never know what's going to happen, right? Atomic, a low dump down to Turbo. He's actually going to get that ball over Garrett to Mist. And EnVy, chance to really set up here on offense. They still look for those infield passes, but Mist didn't want to go for that one. Atomic having to slow them down now, but EnVy seemed to have stabilized. NRG not getting those quick strikes that they were getting at the beginning of the game.
And I think we didn't really have a chance to talk about it, but I think the 2 players or the 1 player from each team right now to take a look at is Mist on EnVy and Squishy, of course, on NRG, just from the performances they've been putting on. Squishy, of course, has had just some crazy games for NRG alone. And for Mist, he's been also generating a lot of offense for EnVy, and it's really a head-to-head for these 2 guys coming into this final.
He's got a nice catch here in midfield. It can certainly be difficult to break through EnVy, where most of the time their defense very solid. Rarely do you catch them out of position or double committing. Very stable in terms of their structure. Sometimes they might get a little jumpy, and against NRG, it's bound to happen a few times with how good they are at possessing the ball as they are right now. And our EnVy couldn't really figure out where exactly that ball was going to head, just trying to close off the most dangerous options. They've accomplished that for now, and they're able to get out.
Very meticulous approach from NRG. They're trying to play it over that first defender, not immediately give up that ball. Very smart play, of course, from NRG. But EnVy, they were happy to just sit back and see how it all panned out, and they were able to play good defense there.
Atomic will actually win both of those challenges. He'll be picked off, and Justin turns right around. Oh, there's thievery on the pitch. NRG take the lead.
And look at this touch from Garrett, just right through the last 2 defenders. Mist kind of realizes it right at the end, but Justin quick to whip around and get a 3rd goal, the go-ahead goal for NRG.
EnVy wanting to try to catch NRG, maybe a little out on the rotation, but little did they know Garrett was right there waiting to pick their pocket. Turbo will slide that one away from Justin and Garrett, actually. Might set up NRG with an opportunity here, but Turbo has to dump it away and got demoed. And NRG aren't really going to sweat too much yet. EnVy really haven't had a lot of time on NRG's side of the field. We take away the first 40 seconds of this game, and there hasn't been much in the way of offense for EnVy versus NRG. You see them over here making another challenge happen against Miss and almost making it awkward for Atomic. But it looks pretty solid right now. Again, EnVy on defense, pretty good on the transition as well, but Garrett will throw it out for a save.
And to your point, Joby, we've seen some good defense come out from EnVy, but right now I think NRG are playing the game that they won. They're locking in their opposition, making sure that everything's a struggle breaking out, and there's a lot of options and second chances for NRG on offense as EnVy trying to muscle their way through here.
I'm surprised Miss just scooped that ball out of the NRG defender. He has to fly back now. It's not the best position for EnVy. Squishy waiting for Turbo's ball, but Miss quickly follows this up. This actually could turn out pretty good for EnVy, but Atomic couldn't stay close enough to the ball, so EnVy still looking for consistent midfield control. Turbo gets a clean win. Pressure on Garrett. Atomic the dunk, but their waiting was Justin. Missed another chance. His shot was light, but Turbo's waiting. Goal for EnVy, tie game.
Great positioning from Turbo as well here. That was a tough defense there for NRG. They had to break out to their corner, and Miss just puts it back on target. Turbo pulse on the far side. You knew the outlet was going to come that way from NRG. They definitely didn't want to go right back into the same space. And Turbo knew it the whole way through, and he's able to tie it up.
And I thought that Atomic had the big brain move there. You know, he got that small touch on the back wall. And NRG, they're sitting in the box thinking, okay, yeah, he's going to try to push it forward now. But he just left it for Miss to grab. And that little changeup was enough to keep NRG stinted on in front of the box. Just another component of that whole play. Atomic almost put it on the nose of Miss. We could have overtime, or if a steal happens here, it won't. And game one starts out, well, this has been quite entertaining, to say the least, so far.
I think the fact that we're in an overtime is no surprise. It's how we got here was entertaining, to say the least, as the shot goes high from Garrett. You know, Jorby, as we talked about it, NRG have had less chances, but maybe here for Garrett, it's going to go just wide. Atomic in a very tough position there on the goal line.
And Turbo bailed EnVy out of a tough situation on that demo and then stealing the ball away. This is still pretty tough. NRG very aggressively positioned here. Justin playing that close second man. He's going to grab the ball from Turbo. Tough to get anything around Atomic. So NRG probably waiting in midfield to get reset. Squishy will grab the ball again. And Justin always waiting. He was expecting that ball to come a little quicker, but he's ready to clamp down on the challenge. Still EnVy, they're getting close to these balls, and while the defense has been pretty solid, to your point, Corelli, it's just really solid pressure from NRG. Justin denied by Atomic. Couldn't sneak it into the side.
Great chances here for NRG. And you see, even after that first shot from Justin, NRG are still retaining possession and still threatening the net. EnVy have got to find a way to get out with possession so that NRG just can't keep firing at their net. Another big save from Mist off his own post. Here's another shot from Squishy. Garrett's going to force it through, and game one goes to NRG.
Now, EnVy had no choice just to sit here on the back wall. That double commit, certainly. Turbo's just back and forth, driving left and right, waiting to find out when he's going to get a chance to go for that ball. That double commit forced him to stay flat on the ground, and Garrett just sat in the middle of the field waiting for that pass to get to him. And NRG come out in what was a really explosive offensive performance overall.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of that game, especially, that was the type of quality gameplay that you would expect from an NRG offense. They really started to put it on to EnVy in the sense of holding possession, a lot of shots on target multiple times. It wasn't just one good shot and then it kind of fizzled out. It was 1, 2, 3 solid opportunities for NRG where EnVy just couldn't keep up with it. And that goes to the boost game, the positioning, quite literally everything for NRG was going so well there on offense, and EnVy were completely suffocated.
Yeah, and, you know, for EnVy in game two, I always feel like Atomic is probably, funnily enough, Atomic might be the least talked about player on EnVy. Not that he doesn't get, he doesn't get talked about at all. He certainly does, but to me, he's EnVy's X factor. If Atomic can pass the ball and, you know, get those tight, in those tight passing situations, that's where EnVy can really start to thrive, is when Atomic has that seemingly endless, infinite vision of the pitch. Because when he can sneak a lot of those tough passes through, he's got two of the most reliable rotators in Mist and Turbo to get it done. So if Atomic is quiet, then EnVy are certainly going to continue to struggle for offense against NRG.
I've really liked Atomic as a point man for EnVy, being that guy that you could toss the ball down the field and he can either redirect it or set you up for a good pass for you to take a shot. And for EnVy right now, they have certainly used him in that way. Mist has certainly stepped up in the last couple of regionals as well. But for now, they got to figure out how they get back here into this series. NRG taking game one. EnVy struggled to generate some consistent offense, Jorby, that I felt like NRG did a lot better.
Well, EnVy's going to get an open net here off the steal from Atomic in the corner. And this rotation sort of broke down after that double commit, and nobody able to follow up that touch from Justin.
Squishy double committed with Justin, and as Squishy landed, he landed on top of Turbopulsa, who scooped him up and threw him into the corner. So it delayed his rotation even after the double commit, and that's why there's an open net. And EnVy on the board first.
EnVy on the board first, but NRG next on the ball in the blue half. Squishy will actually turn off this. It's probably the better option for NRG to have Justin take that challenge. Don't want to force your third man into a tough position. Regardless, they're not able to get out downfield. Garrett's going to get a look here, but it's all about Mist's first touch, and he's going to go for that hard touch off the ceiling. Wants a pass, had to take it himself at the last second. And EnVy back on their own half, but it's ball's kind of zoomed back and forth a couple of times since that kickoff. Well, NRG look for some more offense.
And things are looking a lot better for EnVy here, just with the possession. I like the decision here from Atomic to try and bring it down. It's not going to work out, but rather than just throwing the ball back to NRG, EnVy doing a much better job of just trying to hold on to it. And NRG, they don't have as much time to, or they don't have as much possession, which doesn't give them a lot more time on the offense. Good flip reset there by Squishy, and here's Mist. Lots of space to work with.
Oh, he's got it, and he had Turbo on the wing, but he just couldn't get behind the ball. I wish I was on Mist's cam for that, because it looked like he was trying to time that challenge just right so he could get a hard wave dash pass out to Turbo. Not sure what his boost was like. Yeah, that was my main question. Either way, we're long past it now. And NRG with one touch from Garrett. Justin pulls out for a pass, and Garrett just went for the shot. Squishy goes for the rebound, and Atomic blocks the second after the first from Mist. Mist getting bumped downfield. Turbo on the spawn. It's going to be up to him. Can he stop the attack? No! Squishy collects for NRG.
Great sequence here from NRG. First, the cut from Justin to beat the first man. Pass Mist. That's two players beat by Justin by himself. Sets up his teammate for the shot. Well done here from Justin. And of course, Squishy to put it away, and NRG equalize.
Backboard clean for Turbo. This time very speedy in midfield for Atomic. That was something that they really struggled with in game one, was retaining control of midfield to allow for better pressure opportunities. They'll try for one here. Turbo launched it to Atomic. He got a couple of touches. Mist may have a shot. He went for the side, couldn't hit it. Just wide of the net.
Great placement from Mist. So close to putting that one away. Those are the types of shots you want to see from EnVy, especially when they get NRG on the ropes there.
Yeah, but NRG, they really haven't given EnVy a lot to look at overall. Like, there was that one gaff that NRG gave them. But since then, defense fairly clean for the most part. But now NRG might be in a bit of trouble. They haven't been able to grab the ball in midfield for a while. Everybody back, and the backboard defense is clean for NRG, so maybe not too much to scream about. Garrett puts a screamer on net. Justin dumps it down for Garrett, but right on top of him was Mist, and EnVy's defense still holds.
Great decision-making there from Justin. Not just immediately taking that shot, which I think most players would have, but Justin, what a save from Atomic from the corner. How did he get that one out? I don't think it was in either way. And now Mist gonna carry it across for EnVy. That keeps him in it.
Oh, he's close on the rotation, too. He saw Mist. Mist wants Atomic now. Quick passing from EnVy. Mist, does he have an angle? Oh, he did, but Justin took it away. Turbo fights off Squishy for the ball. Atomic launches sideways to grab it. A demo to open up some space. And the challenge will force Mist back But NRG slow to the ball, chasing it down, and that massive 50 win from Garrett may give him some breath because EnVy were looking super threatening in the orange half.
And they look a lot better here into the final 30 seconds if they can hang on defense. It feels like they could crack the NRG defense. Here's Garrett's shot. It's going to be wide, and EnVy might have one last chance.
Turbo racing for it. He's not going to get it. Atomic last man back in net. He can't reach it, but it's going to take a second for NRG to get back towards the box. Turbo going to drop it right for Atomic, trying to manage for overtime in game 2. Justin has a carry and missed hops right on top of that ball. We go to overtime yet again.
For all the things that we complimented NRG in the first game, EnVy are responding back here in the second. Basically doing the same thing that NRG did to them, suffocating the defense, making sure that they can't break out with possession. You're seeing a lot of long balls come out from NRG as well that have caught out the EnVy defense. They do it here in game 2, and NRG get away with it.
It slipped through back on defense. It's Atomic on the assignment. Turbo couldn't get back in time, and Garrett put a hard shot on net, 90 kilometers per hour. And I don't have the exact stat in front of me. I wish I did now. Where's stacks when I need them? Where we've been following EnVy during the grid, and overtime has not been kind to EnVy. They, especially against NRG, I think they've only taken one overtime game against NRG, and that's with probably 6 of them now. It hasn't been pretty in overtimes for EnVy, and I think they want this next one to end in regulation. NRG are just locking things down right now.
That one is especially painful for EnVy because I was just making the point about how I felt. EnVy was playing a much better offense where they were able to keep possession and generate multiple chances, and then they give up a goal like that. I just mentioned it right at the end where there was a couple balls that NRG would throw over the top of EnVy, and it really caught them out. It got a little dicey on the back end for EnVy, and it felt like this shouldn't be a problem where if this ball's thrown over your last man, surely that last man can deal with it. But again, EnVy, they played a much better game here in game 2. If they can carry this offense into game 3, I think they'll fare just fine.
We'll see. It's got to be tough when NRG look really solid in form right now. The talk has been about Squishy Muffins and his pop-off over the course of this regional, and even just today. But, I mean, you've seen Justin in this match play that speedy style. You love to see him play where he just seems to always keep the ball on his nose no matter how fast or where he's going. Vertically, horizontally, doesn't matter.
Justin has been the man of the match so far. I think between both teams, he has, to your point, done so much for the offense here for NRG, whether it's the finishing shot or the passing play that sets up his team for success. He really, I mean, we all know he's the guy who can do everything for his team, and he's really showing that off here against EnVy.
Atomic gets up quick for this, and he just screens it. So Garrett had no clue that ball was coming as fast as it was. Didn't lead to anything, but certainly got exciting for a second. EnVy back on defense. Atomic got back to his challenge there. Well done enough to get to NRG territory for now. Now it's about winning every 50 in midfield. Might just come down to that. Turbo grabs the ball, but EnVy, they're just really trying to lock down the sides against NRG. Tough to find the real gap yet for some quality shot opportunities. EnVy have already registered 3 in the first minute and a half.
One of the ways NRG finds so much success is that challenge game. It feels like when they engage into a challenge, it's either neutral or they win it. And that can keep you on offense for multiple shots, for multiple attempts, but it can also get you out of defense a lot more. It can slow down an offense, and that's a shot. Missed almost gets the touch off the save from Squishy, and he might not get enough credit for that save, but that's one heck of a try from EnVy.
Missed almost getting what would have been probably the best dunk he's ever gotten. Garrett fixed it, but Atomic grabbed the rebound off a missed touch. Missed blocks another. Turbo hops in front, says, somebody please clear this ball. Atomic, well, that's a lobber, and Squishy downfield for Garrett, but he couldn't grab the ball. He needed some boost. Atomic wanted to throw that back around quickly, but my goodness, the speed. Missed, and that save.
Wow. The in and out save from Squishy to dodge the demo from Turbo as well. Touch from Atomic's gonna go right past the last defender, and EnVy up 1-0.
It's Atomic, all Atomic on this play. It's a good first touch, plenty of boost to recover on it, and just did not expect that ball to bounce as it did. I was clicking on the wrong player again, so Corelli, I'm just gonna, I'm gonna leave it to you for what went wrong for the defender. I had the wrong view.
That first challenge, I think, is really what it came down to. Great initial touch from Atomic. It's tough. I mean, when you get inside the box like that, those little touches can be the difference past the last defender. NRG were spread out as well. And it could be the difference maker here, although NRG have had multiple tries, and it's Justin who gets one back to tie it up.
But it's Garrett taking the point on the challenge. Missed. Didn't expect that ball to pinch up, and he was in no spot to go get it. It forced everybody to rush back to try to make the next touch onto the ball, but really all it took was 150 from Garrett, and Justin had the cleanest shot for NRG. So Justin, quick on the kickoff, picks up another one and almost sank it himself. Garrett's get a freebie, but his shot's denied, just too slow, and Turbo was able to grab it.
EnVy taking full advantage of the entire frame here. A lot of saves going off their posts, off their crossbars, and they'll be happy to see that ball bounce out. Here's Garrett on the air dribble, and NRG certainly have picked up the offense after that first goal. You're seeing Justin being involved a lot more as well, and NRG definitely sitting in a good spot with this type of pressure.
Oh, great maneuvers by Garrett. That last touch, doesn't matter what Atomic was just trying to buy some time for EnVy to get set back on defense. Turbo couldn't grab that midfield touch either, but he will win that next one against Garrett. The rest of EnVy had to go back, pick up pads, and now they're gonna set up a quick attack here. Atomic back over to Mist. NRG gonna flow back to the opposite side of the pitch as Garrett just takes the ball himself. And now NRG swing to the opposite side of the field. Justin puts on some pressure. That one just high, but this next shot isn't gonna miss. NRG with Squishy Muffins have the lead.
And that's one of those goals where you look at it and say you can't have a ball come clean off your back wall, in this case, the top of your crossbar. Squishy and anyone really at this level is going to be poaching that touch off the back wall at any moment. And NRG take the late lead.
NRG starting to consistently slice through this EnVy defense, and they might get another slice there. Ooh, but Atomic rolled it off the side. That's his second save like that today in this match. Ooh.
I mentioned it earlier, EnVy using that fourth man to their advantage here on these saves, and it has paid off for them. It's at least kept it within one, and they might be able to get one back here with this offense.
Well, that's a good look for Atomic. It's shot too low, but Turbo grabs the next read off the ceiling. Mist going to be right behind him. He's got to contend with Squishy. Squishy will win a big 50. The rest of EnVy were nowhere ready for that, still rotating back. So Garrett, one man, causes two to flop around on EnVy. Justin wants to get back to that ball, but he lost it. Mist trying to run away for EnVy now at the end of regulation. Ball straight back for Atomic. The shot right in front. Mist trying to keep it alive. Turbo gets one more look. He jets it towards the net. Justin kills it. And NRG are absolutely ridiculous today. They are one game away from sweeping EnVy out of this tournament. Wow.
They're looking good, and let's give credit to the defense of EnVy. They had to pay their dues here in this game in particular. A lot of tough shots that they had to save. This could have been a much larger scoreline. At the end of the day, we're sitting here at 2-1, and NRG now might be able to take this regional. EnVy, while they have had some time on offense, it does feel like very dicey on defense at the moment, and NRG are certainly taking advantage of it.
I feel like Garrett was an absolute nuisance in that game. I don't think he lost a single 50. Even in tough situations where EnVy were about to be on a counterattack and Garrett was the guy that had to win a 50 to buy his team time, he just turned it into an offensive opportunity because he wouldn't only win the challenge, he would straight up just steal it, put it in his backpack, and he's like, all right, Justin, Squishy, where are you? Oh, quick goal. Oh, we scored? Okay, we're good. Or it's just more pressure on EnVy. EnVy are playing so reactionary right now where they want to play that clean flow game where they can grab the quick save on defense, then flow right into a counterattack. If they have to retreat, fine. But as long as they're always progressing towards the orange half of the pitch, EnVy are happy. They haven't been able to do that at all. NRG have suffocated them. Yep. The offense has been, it's been scarce for EnVy.
There's been a lot of times where they just didn't have boost moving out of their end as well. EnVy, that is, and NRG definitely winning in that department at the moment, and they're putting on pressure now as EnVy's forced to deal with it.
Well, this is another pass from Justin this time to Garrett, who sneaks through this window to put in another for NRG, and it just does not stop.
Brilliant touch from Justin. I mean, seriously, reading that one off the ceiling and dropping it down to his teammates. Wonderfully done from NRG. That support, that trust to know your teammate's going to be there to take that shot. Very well done from Justin. He is having himself one heck of a final here. We all know Justin's a fantastic player, but he is playing exceptional right now against EnVy.
I think it was Shogun earlier today where he said if Justin is playing in Justin form, good luck anyone else. And he's certainly been rock solid for NRG today. It puts them one game win away from a regional championship, and a save from Garrett, very atomic-like Garrett. He'll attempt to boom that downfield, but now they'll get the boomer. A series of boomers. Also, funnily enough, Atomic, the only player on this pitch without a major championship win. There's a lot of accolades on this pitch between 5 players, but Atomic's the only guy who has nothing. Mist has at least one major win back when they went on that incredible run the whole way back in Montreal.
I wouldn't be surprised.
You know the story of NRG.
I think we all do. I wouldn't be surprised to see this EnVy team have a major win eventually, however long that is down the line. And Atomic could add his name to the accolades in this server, and he certainly fits quite well in. And Justin mind gaming the defense there. Is Mist forced to make a good save.
That's the danger of Justin, is when he's feeling it and he's been successful scoring, you know, the opposition is forced to respect what he can do with the ball. What a pitch! That was absolutely diabolical, Justin!
What a play from Justin backwards to receive this ball, then flips right into it. Atomic couldn't get back, pinches it into the net. You thought the play was dead, but Justin slams it into the floor. And a second goal for NRG.
Oh, I think there's a hole in the floor. Are we playing drop shot? There's nothing left. Holy cow. That was awesome.
Well, we sang his praises, and I think those praises are certainly validated with a goal like that. He almost gets another one as he sneaks it by the defense. And EnVy have got to get their act together when it's Justin on the ball. He's been so sneaky.
Oh, Atomic tried to sneak it in again. Mist got the catch, but no one has been able to grab a rebound on NRG today. This time, Atomic will flip one up. But EnVy, they've been forced to play to the sides and the corners because NRG have just defended the infield pass so well. So what do? If you're EnVy, where you try everything, right here, Atomic's going to try to work across the side as best he can. He actually wins every single 50. He even got the bump, but Turbo couldn't find the ball. And Garrett just sits in the air behind the ball, and Mist flopped off of it. It's just NRG's day right now. Less than 2 minutes to go in this game, and EnVy haven't even sniffed the net. Mist, one more chance. Does he got it? Back to Atomic. Finally, they get a good whiff of it there. Atomic puts it in.
And it was such a simple play from Mist as well. He just pops it up and over. I think there might have been a miscommunication or maybe a mechanical miss there from EnVy. I think someone tried to jump up for it and it didn't end up going, which is why Mist was able to get away with that air dribble to the back wall. And well done from Atomic to put it home, and EnVy now within striking distance.
Garrett grabs a quick shot. Justin will swing out wide to lock this down. He was actually just given the ball here. Garrett, having to avoid Turbo Pulsa, still finds his way back to this ball. Does he shovel that to Squishy? Almost. Justin still finds a shot. Turbo hopped in front for the next save. EnVy certainly can't afford to give NRG any more insurance. In fact, how about a tie game? No! Justin getting up just in time for the save. But maybe this can be the boon EnVy need. Mist, the next touch is just to get EnVy set, but they got to be quick in midfield. Turbo does just that, but there's no follow-up. and they're forced back to their back wall with a minute left.
Justin with an opportunity for NRG. They're trying to regain some sort of offense. It feels like a huge surge of confidence from EnVy after that goal, but a missed touch here from EnVy, or excuse me, missed. Almost gave it up to Garrett, and they're fighting their way out now.
Atomic, he was stretching for Turbo, and they might have caught NRG on the weak side. But instead, NRG just steal the ball away again. Squishy, happy to carry that the whole way around. Garrett takes another shot. I mean, this is NRG's dome. Aquadome is NRG's. Every other map we've played on has been NRG's. EnVy.
Atomic.
With Atomic, nothing. Garrett, another block, missed. He's got Atomic in front again. This is the end of regulation. Can they come up with the goal? This is it for EnVy, their last chance against a dominant NRG. Can they sneak a goal in here to take it to overtime? Justin, does he kill the ball? He does, and NRG absolutely slapped the field in North America today. It wasn't even a contest. They are your regional champs.
What a performance from NRG. They've done it throughout this regional in multiple stages now. They absolutely have earned this win over EnVy. A 4-0 sweep for the finals. Sends a statement, sends a letter to everyone in NA about what NRG are about.
NRG, just the complete game. In the semifinals, they just popped off against the Peeps. And then EnVy, while it was a little bit tighter, and EnVy played some pretty good defense throughout. Atomic had some nutty saves. They had some great cutoffs. They could never keep it away from NRG. Anytime they'd have a counterattack, Garrett would slow them down in midfield, and then the rest of them were ready. Okay, what are you going to do? Are you going to pass it? Because we're just going to intercept it again. It happened twice in this game where they got intercepted in midfield, which immediately led to a goal. So it didn't matter what EnVy tried.